Success is a curious thing. It doesn't always announce itself with trumpets. And failure, well, failure rarely knocks down the door. Most times it slips in quietly, not with a crash, but with a whisper. It's almost invisible at first, and that's what makes it so dangerous. You look around and wonder how you drifted so far from the destination you once set out for. See, if failure came with a warning sign, most would recognize it, stand guard, and do something about it. But it doesn't. It hides behind small habits, habits that seem harmless, even reasonable on their own. Skipping a morning routine just once, letting a day pass without reading, promising yourself you'll do it tomorrow. It's those little choices that open the window, just a crack, and that's all the thief needs. I've seen it too many times. People come to me and ask where they went wrong. They worked hard. They had big plans. But somewhere along the way, something slipped. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Little habits left unchallenged, repeated day after day, became the silent thieves that stole what they'd been working for. And that's the danger, isn't it? Most people think success comes from adding more work, more hours, more ambition. But just as important as what you add is what you allow, what you tolerate, what you let pass unchecked. You can plant all the seeds you want, but if you let the weeds grow, pretty soon there's nothing left of your garden. Now, it's easy to spot the big mistakes, the major errors in judgment. But I'm talking about the habits so small you almost miss them. Leaving the dishes in the sink one night because you're tired. Letting a disagreement go unresolved because it's uncomfortable. Not writing that thank you note. Because after all, what's one note? These are the habits that steal your future. They creep in through the cracks, unnoticed. Each time you repeat them, they gain strength. Before you know it, you've built a wall, brick by brick, that stands between you and your potential. What's the lesson? Success isn't just about doing the right things. It's also about guarding against the wrong ones. It's about vigilance, about becoming a watchman at the gate of your own life, checking the locks, making sure the windows are shut, and not allowing even the smallest thief inside. It's a hard truth, but a necessary one. Habits shape your destiny. Not just the ones you celebrate, but the ones you excuse, the ones you rationalize, the ones you believe are too small to matter. Let me tell you, they matter. In fact, they may matter most of all. So as you consider your journey, ask yourself, what habits have I let slip in unannounced? Where have I grown complacent? What have I allowed day by day to drift out of alignment with my goals? Because if you don't catch these silent thieves early, they will take from you more than you ever imagined possible. Procrastination is a sly thief. It doesn't make a scene. It simply invites you to wait, not forever, just for now, just until you feel ready, until you know more, until conditions are perfect. And the danger is, it sounds so reasonable. Why rush? Why not take a little more time to think, to plan, to prepare? But here's what I learned. Waiting for the right time is a trick. There's no such thing. Life rarely serves up perfect conditions. And while you're waiting, opportunities move on. The world doesn't pause for your hesitation. Every time you delay action, you lose more than just minutes or hours. You lose momentum. And momentum is a precious thing. When you're in motion, energy is high. Ideas flow. Confidence builds. But stop. Just for a day or two, and it gets harder to start again. The habit of delay becomes its own kind of gravity, pulling you further from your goals. You see, progress doesn't come from thinking about action. it comes from action itself. People sometimes tell me they're just waiting for inspiration. Inspiration is wonderful, but it tends to visit those who are already moving. Get started, and you'll be surprised how often inspiration catches up with you. Every delay has a cost, not just the work you didn't do, but the belief you didn't build. The more you wait, the more you doubt. Doubt in your ability, doubt in your resolve. The habit of waiting chips away at your self-trust. Before long, the mountain seems bigger, the task heavier, and your ambition feels just out of reach. Winners and losers often start with the same intentions, but winners act while others wait. It's not always the most talented who succeed. It's those who show up day after day, regardless of how they feel. They know the right moment is the one they make. They don't wait for conditions to improve. They get to work and let progress create its own weather. And here's something to remember. Action builds confidence. The very act of doing, even imperfectly, creates a sense of capability. You finish one thing, and suddenly you believe you can finish another. One step leads to the next. Doubt, on the other hand, grows in the shadows of inactivity. The longer you wait, the more you convince yourself you can't. I've met so many people with big plans who waited their whole lives for the right time. They missed chances, not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked momentum. Life rewards action, not intention. The world moves forward, and if you want to catch up, you have to move with it. So ask yourself, where have I been waiting for conditions to be perfect? What have I put off, hoping for a better moment? Remember, every day you wait is a day lost, not just from your calendar, but from your character. Act now and watch how quickly doubt is replaced by confidence. Momentum is fragile. Once you have it, protect it. When you lose it, fight to get it back. Don't let the thief of procrastination steal your future one quiet day at a time. And here is the next thief that will rob you of your success. Excuses. They're easy to make, aren't they? And the more skilled you become at making them, the further you drift from the results you want. Excuses are like little stories, crafted to protect comfort, to shield from blame, to let weakness hide behind something that sounds reasonable. Over the years, I've watched people explain away missed opportunities with a kind of creativity that could have built a fortune if applied to solving problems instead of explaining them. The weather, the economy, a difficult childhood, lack of support, timing, the list is endless. There's always something outside to blame for what's not working inside. But here's what happens. Every excuse you make, every story you spin to defend a lack of progress, quietly drains energy from the only place it matters, your ability to fix what needs fixing. The time you spend justifying is time you don't spend improving. You can't move forward with one foot in the story and one foot in reality. There's a simple but tough truth you have to accept. You can have reasons or you can have results, but you can't have both. Reasons make you comfortable in the moment. Results make you proud for a lifetime. People ask me, what's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't? It's not that one group had fewer obstacles. Often it's the opposite. The difference is in the response. Some people respond to setbacks with excuses, while others respond with action. Some seek understanding, others seek escape. The first group moves forward. The second stays stuck. I remember a young man who told me all the reasons he couldn't start his business. No money, no connections, no experience. But as the months passed, his story grew longer, not shorter. The more skilled he became at defending his inaction, the less energy he had to do anything about it. One day he realized his story had become a cage. He was trapped by his own explanations. You see, the world rarely rewards those who are good at explaining why they didn't win. It rewards those who take ownership, who say, "This is my responsibility, no matter the circumstance, no matter the odds." Responsibility is the foundation on which everything else is built. When you claim it, you gain power. When you avoid it, you give that power away. So ask yourself honestly, what excuses have I been making? Where have I been telling stories instead of taking steps? It takes courage to face your own explanations, to admit that comfort has been more important than change. But once you do, you reclaim all the energy that was lost in justification. Every minute spent making an excuse is a minute not spent making progress. Trade your stories for strategies. Trade your reasons for results. Let responsibility become your ally. When you do, you'll find that many obstacles vanish. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Next, distraction. Now there's a modern disease if there ever was one. It's never been easier to lose focus. So many things tug at your attention every minute. A phone buzzing, news flashing, someone asking for just a moment of your time. Before you know it, hours have slipped away, lost not to meaningful work, but to trivial pursuits that leave nothing behind but fatigue. Success demands focus, and focus requires intention. The average person today is pulled in 100 directions, and most of those directions lead nowhere special. It's easy to say yes to every request, every notification, every new piece of gossip, thinking you can handle it all. But every yes to distraction is a no to achievement. You have to treat your attention like it's capital in the bank. If you spend it on things that don't matter, don't be surprised when you come up short where it does. What you give attention to grows. Water the weeds, and they'll take over the garden. Water the flowers, and beauty follows. I remember when I was building my career, distractions were different, but the principle was the same. Maybe it was the television, the radio, idle conversations at the coffee shop. Whatever form it takes, distraction is always there, waiting to pull you away from your purpose if you're not vigilant. And it's not just about the obvious time wasters. Sometimes it's the little interruptions that add up. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. Check the news, check the phone, check on a friend's opinion. Each interruption by itself seems harmless, but pile them together and you've lost not just time, but your best mental energy. What happens to the person who lives distracted? Their goals move further away. Their plans are always started, never finished. Their dreams remain dreams, never reality. Meanwhile, those who protect their focus move steadily toward what matters. They accomplish more in an hour than others do in a day, simply because they chose what to ignore. You must become ruthless with your attention. Guard it the way you'd guard a treasure. Put up boundaries. Learn to say no. Turn off the noise when it's time to work. There's nothing noble about knowing every headline or answering every message the moment it arrives. Nobility is found in building something meaningful with your day. Distraction will rob you blind if you let it, and it does so quietly, with your permission. The day slips by, and you wonder where it went. You were busy, but you weren't productive. The urgent things pushed out the important ones. So ask yourself, what am I giving my attention to? What needs to be cut so I can focus on what truly matters? Take inventory, be honest. Every hour is an investment. Make sure you're investing in the right place. Success isn't built in the scattered hours spent here and there.